Hey, folks, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Love of Fighting podcast. We are back after a couple days off. Uh, Unfortunately, Ollie doesn't have a camera, but today's episode is going to be a little bit short. We don't have a guest. We just going to break down the pay per view that happened this week, UFC 265. We're going to give our predictions for the upcoming card. Gastelum versus Cannonier is a great fight. Uh, so Ollie, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna give you a couple matchups after 265. Let me know if you like them or no. Uh, I'm gonna start with the featured prelims bout. Rafael Fiziev. I think Rafael Fiziev, he deserves a ranked opponent, right? After that performance,
Yeah.
I think he should fight Arman Sarukian. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I was thinking he could fight Aloe Quinta.
Yeah, that's a good fight. But is Al ranked right now? I don't think he's ranked. I think they dropped him off the rankings for
Yeah,
inactivity.
he wants to come back, I think.
He said he wants to come back, but I think
Wait,
Rafael
not
Fiziev
the rank.
deserves a ranked
Yeah,
opponent.
he's not ranks. Thiago took over Moises.
Yeah,
This
Thiago Moises, that's a great fight. That's a great fight. Banger. That's gonna be a banger fight. So what's next for Bobby Green?
he did perform well.
Yeah, he did good. He did good in the last round, but the first couple rounds, not that was not his round. But
Round three was
yeah,
another unranked opponent. It definitely will.
yeah, maybe give him Alex Quinta. Maybe
Yeah,
Al and Bobby Green. They should go at it.
yeah.
That's a good one. So Michael Chiesa with Sante Luque. Wow.
That was something.
That was that was crazy, man. That was crazy. I mean, from the start of the fight, Michael landed good shots. He took him down, got the bag, attempted a couple submissions, but on his way up, he got caught in the doors. He got caught in the doors.
Yeah,
Uh, as you know, Michael Chiesa is known for being choked out by strikers. No disrespect to the man, great fighter, but he needs to work on that submission defense. I mean, he was choked out by Masvidal. You know who Jorge Masvidal is, right? He's known for baptizing people, not choking them out. He got choked out by Masvidal, by Kevin Lee.
yeah.
That was a
Got
bit
choked out by
controversial.
Pettis.
Pettis is more well-rounded, but overall, I think Pettis is a striker. This man is a striker. He likes to strike. But if
Oh,
he sees a submission, he goes for it.
I
So
remember
yeah, he
that
got
Mar-
choked.
I remember the Masvidal choke.
Yeah, that was a barber choke. That
Yeah,
was a good.
Chiesa knocked him down and all.
Yeah, Kiesa's got a good striking. I mean,
Yeah.
he knocked out Masvidal. Do you remember the technique that he knocked out Masvidal with?
Who?
The Conor McGregor style,
Oh
grab
yeah.
the one hand and hit him with the. That's one thing that Masvidal gives Masvidal a hard time. You know
Yeah.
that technique. But we're not here to talk about Masvidal. I think Vicente Luque, who just beat Michael Chiesa, should fight Masvidal. I think that's a great fight. Or he should fight Leon Edwards. That's a great fight
That's
too.
for Masvidal. He's in a pickle.
I think Masvidal should fight someone. He said he wants to fight it by the end of the year.
I,
He's out of the top five. We know that he's out of the top five. He's ranked number 7 now. He fights Vicente Luque, who's gonna be ranked 5 or higher.
he's gonna
As
four.
yeah,
Rank.
he beat
He's gonna
number
take
5.
over Thompson.
He might take over Thompson. Thompson might come down to 6. Chiesa might stay at 5. Luque might go to 4.
Yeah.
I think Thompson will go down. I think Chiesa
Tom,
will stay at 5. Luke is gonna be 4. Thompson's gonna be 6.
Yeah.
I, I think that's gonna happen. Or I mean, because Leon Edwards is next for the title fight after the Kobe fight, right?
Yeah,
That's a
there's
long time to wait.
rumours.
That's a long time to wait.
People want versus Edwards next.
I mean, Luke versus Edwards, Luke versus Masvidal, they're both great fights. But if he wants to fight for the title, he needs to beat the guy who's next. And who's next after Kobe? It's Leon Edwards. They fight. The winner of that fight fights for the belt. It's that simple. Because you don't want to take You don't want to take a lot of time off it. Because Leon fought recently. That was UFC 263. They're gonna fight. Usman's gonna fight 268. Let's say Usman takes a couple months off. He's gonna fight. Even if he gets the next title shot, he's gonna fight at 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe January 2022. Who knows? But what I'm saying is let him have another fight, be a top ranked contender. Because his last fight was against a non-ranked Diaz. With all the respect in the world to Nate Diaz, he's unranked. Even if he, even if you beat an unranked opponent, that doesn't mean you get a title shot. But Leon is on a 9 fight win streak. He he deserves a title shot. He's ranked number 3, but you don't want to take a lot of time off. Ring rust, all that stuff could happen. So I'm saying Luke versus uh, Edwards in UFC maybe 269 or 270 December, maybe in December. Edwards, Luke in December. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the earliest it would happen is November.
So what about Michael Chiesa? The guy was on a 4-fight win streak. Now he's not. He was undefeated at welterweight. Now he's not. He's got good matchups. I mean, Sean Brady pulled out. If he wants to turn it around fast and get a win, maybe he can fight Kevin Lee. He can fight Masvidal, or he
Maybe
can.
Magny.
Sorry, what?
Neil Magny.
Neil Mag. He already fought Neil Mag. Come on,
Oh,
bro.
oh yeah.
He already. That was a week before the McGregor Poirier fight, the second one.
Covering it.
Yeah, he can fight maybe Stephen Thompson, both coming off losses. Great matchup.
Yeah.
Grappler with a striker. That's a great matchup. Wonderboy might submit him. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a submission win from Thompson. So main event. Oh, sorry, Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. The King of Rio is back. He's won 2 straight. He's number 5. He wants TJ Dillashaw next. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the fight to make.
I mean, TJ Dillashaw said he wants to fight for the title. He wants to fight the winner of Jan Sterling 2. I believe that. When is that fight happening? It's 257, right?
Yeah. October 30th.
Yeah, October. And he's gonna be out. TJ's gonna be out. He's gonna have surgeries, couple of surgeries, right? He said he's gonna have a couple of surgeries. He's gonna get his scar tissue removed. That's a long time to wait. Maybe early 2022, we're gonna see either TJ Dillashaw versus the winner of Jan Sterling, or we can see what's his name, Jose Aldo versus TJ Dillashaw for the interim title. Which I hate the interim title, man. I hate that thing. I
So
hate the interim title. I mean, come on. Every fight is happening, and it's an interim title. I mean, the main event, for Christ's sake, it was for the interim title. The champ wasn't hurt. He wasn't out with an injury. He just didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
He should have fought. I mean, Derek Lewis, he was knocked out, but let's be honest here. He should have fought for the undisputed belt. Cyril
Mhm.
Gane, I mean, Cyril Gane, that guy is amazing. His performance, he was amazing. But I think it was too early. But he showed that he can do it. He showed that he can do it. He doesn't care if it's too early. He doesn't care if he's got only 7 fights under the UFC banner. He went out there and beat the last man to defeat the champion and knocked him out in the third round. I mean, that was a TKO, but that was a great performance. Lewis was frozen. He was frozen. What
Stop.
do you think about that match? What do you think about that fight? I mean, that was crazy.
It was just pure dominance.
Did you even? Nobody even thought that that was gonna happen. I mean, some people suggested that Gon is gonna dominate. He's gonna beat him every round, but Derek is gonna catch him. Derek is gonna catch him. That was not the case. That was not the goddamn case. Derek Lewis, I respect that man a lot. I like him. I picked him for the win. That didn't happen, but hey, Derek Lewis, he looked frozen to me. He looked like the Francis Ngannou fight. Let's be honest. Then he looked like he was fighting Francis. You remember
Yeah.
that fight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was sitting there in front of the TV. I was like, any second now. Come on, Derek. Let's go, Black Beast. Let's go. Punch, kick, do something. He was frozen. I mean, I don't think he was frozen. I think he was looking. I mean, he was frozen, but not just he didn't want to do anything. He was waiting for an opening. Cyril Gane, he didn't show any openings. I mean, the guy dismantled. He kicked his leg, which I think that was a great move. That was a great move because
Yeah.
when you look at Derek Lewis, you look at the Alexander Volkov fight. He was dominant. He was getting dominated and got the win in the last 10 seconds, which means you cannot try to go out there and make him tired. Because even if he gets tired, he's gonna have that crazy knockout power that he always had. So what you want to do? Stay on the outside. Don't get close. Kick the leg. Kick the body. I don't know. Land a couple good shots. Do what you want to do. That was a great game plan by Cyril Gane. But the next fight for Cyril is gonna be the Francis Ngannou fight. It's gonna go down in Paris. It's gonna go down in France. Are you gonna be there?
We'll see with this COVID thing.
Yeah. What's the situation with the COVID over there?
Well,
In the
it's like, do you know? Well, you don't live in England. It's fine. We can go to shops without masks now. So yeah, it's getting better. We can have full capacity in stadiums,
but
like
it's gonna
America, basically.
happen in Paris. I
What?
don't know the situation. It's gonna happen in France. I feel it's gonna happen in France.
It will.
I mean, it should happen in France.
If Dana wants it in France, it will happen in France.
Yeah, I mean, it should happen in France.
The only
Let me tell
reason.
you this story. Let me tell you this story. Francis Ngannou, a kid from Cameroon, grew up in the sand mines, did a lot of hard work, moved to Paris, moved to France. I mean, slipped on the streets of France, grew up in there, trained in there, became this unbelievable monster, this unbelievable knockout machine. And he got a former teammate. It's always a great story. A former teammate. They trained together. There are footage of these two training together.
Yeah.
Now, I think they got a little bit of. I think Francis, he's got a little bit of thing. He's got a little bit of beef. I'm not saying beef. He's got a rivalry with this man. I mean, you saw the tweets, right? You saw the clip that he put out. He said, Stipe is number one, you're number two. I'm the champion. He said, I'm the champion, you're number two. You're not even number one. Even though you are the next man in line for the title, you're number two. That is the fire. That is the fire for that rivalry. I think we're gonna see a great rivalry. I think they will fight more than once. I think that this they're gonna talk a lot of shit. They're gonna make a shit amount of money. Uh, it's gonna happen in France, like I said. But did you see the odds for that matchup?
Yeah,
France is
Gone
the
favourite.
gone as the favorite.
It's like Poirier McGregor odds for the third fight.
Yeah.
Slim.
For the first fight, Poirier was Connor was the underdog, right? Or Poirier was the underdog. I don't know. I don't remember.
It was McGregor was slight favourite for the first one.
Yeah, he was slight favorite for the
Because
first.
of the trash talk, probably.
Yeah, but I think more is because that Derek and Francis have the same kind of fighting style. Derek is a knockout artist, knocks people out. So does Francis. Francis is a knockout guy. He's got 100% finish rate. And he's not the most technical heavyweight, but he's the most powerful heavyweight. So is Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is a powerful heavyweight, but he's not technical. I think the technicality of Cyril Gane made him the favorite in this matchup. But
Yeah.
apart from that, I don't say.
Who are you predicting to win?
I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the champ because the difference between Francis and Derek, Francis moves forward, Derek moved backwards, right? There, Francis is a little bit more technical than our boy Delu. You know that he's a bit more technical. You saw that in his last fight, which was amazing performance from Francis. I think he's gonna push him backwards, but that's not gonna be a problem for Gon. I don't. It's gonna be a good fight. I predict a good fight, and fans are gonna win. That's what I predict. I don't know. Maybe when the card comes out, I'm not gonna pick a winner because I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure at all.
Yeah.
So look, guys, we don't have a lot of time. We got only a couple minutes, so we're gonna give our predictions for the upcoming card. It's not gonna be this week. It's gonna be the week after this one. The Gastelum versus Cannoneer. Who you got?
Cannonier.
Cannoneer. How? I got Gastelum by decision. Gastelum by decision. Yeah.
Decision.
I don't think that Cannoneer is gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
Because Kelvin KG, he's got a big head. He's a Mexican with a big head. Shout out to all the Mexicans out there. You guys are amazing. I mean, he's a tough Mexican. You saw that in the Bobby Knuckles fight. He got head kicked right here. The last time I was kicked in the head, I was out cold right in the match. The last time that happened, I was out cold. Look at KG. He was kicked right in the head. He wasn't hurt, but he wasn't out. Look at the Adesanya fight. He was dropped multiple times in that fight, but he didn't go out. So, but Cannonier is a knockout artist, but I don't think his power is gonna be enough to get Kelvin Gastelum away. I think if Cannonier is gonna win, it's gonna be by decision, but I got KG by decision.
But also, Cannonier, we don't know about his cardio in the championship rounds.
Exactly, because it's a main event. It's 5 rounds. If KG takes him to deep waters, grapples, takes his bag, tries submissions, gets him tired, we don't know what's gonna happen. We haven't seen Cannonier in 5-round fights. Even if If it goes up to 5 rounds, we might see KG take over. But is it gonna be enough to beat Cannonier? I don't know. If he starts fast and takes him down and pushes him against the cage, gets him tired, I think KG is gonna win. But if you know KG goes out there and fights like Derek Lewis, I think Cannonier will win. But right now, I got KG by decision. I think the first couple rounds, the first two rounds are gonna go to Cannonier because his striking is gonna be better. But the championship rounds, round 3, right, 4 or 5 is gonna be Gastelum. Round 3 is gonna also be Gastelum because of he went to 5 round wars with Adesanya, Robert Whitaker, all that stuff. That's why I think KG is gonna get the win. So yeah,
Yep.
I mean, 2021's been a good year, my man. Great fights, great rivalries. I mean, this card, for God's sake, this card was amazing. Not even a boring fight, not even the main event. Even though Derek Lewis stood there for the whole 3 rounds, that wasn't boring at all. I mean, I was entertained for sure. That was entertaining.
Ah, Dana
Always been
White's ate all his words for Gain.
What? Sorry?
Dana White took everything back what he said about Gain after his win over Rosenstrike.
He called him boring. He didn't call him boring like you are boring like that. Here, right in our area, we got a saying like, "I said it to the wall so the door can hear it." I mean, it doesn't mean much in English, but it means like I didn't say it. You're boring, but I said you didn't do good. I didn't like your performance. Even though he put on a good performance and dominated the last 2 fights, he he kind of told him he is boring, but he didn't use the word boring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, but he came out and denied all of that. No, I didn't say he's boring. He's a great fighter. Come on, dude. We saw you say it's boring. I don't want to talk shit about Dana though. I don't want to talk shit about Dana. He might cancel us. I mean, I like Dana. He's a great guy. Without him, none of this would be possible. I mean, let's get Dana off his chair, off his big golden throne. In a couple years, MMA is going to turn into boxing. You see Scott Coker, he wants crossover fights, which is happening in boxing all the time. I don't want MMA to turn into boxing. Dana also wants that. I mean, he doesn't like the boxing in the recent years. Why? Because there's a weight division, let's say lightweight division in boxing. There are 500 interim champions, 2,000 champions. There's undisputed champion, the unified champion. Everybody gets a belt. I don't want MMA to turn into that thing, right? Nobody wants that. Boxing is so confusing. I mean, I'm not a boxing guy. If Canelo is fighting, yeah, I'm watching it. If Tyson Fury, if AJ, or if Billy Joe Saunders, if those guys are fighting, yeah, I'm watching it. But normal boxing fights, nah, because it's confusing. It's confusing to me. The guy comes out, he's a lightweight champion, but there's Teofimo Lopez, who I think is a lightweight champion, which doesn't make sense at all. I mean, you got an interim champion, you got an undisputed champion, you got a unified champion, you got the motherfucker. I don't want to swear. You got a whole champion. You got a lot of champions. Even though we got a lot of champions in the UFC, a lot of people get belts, but it's 2 in every weight division. It's 1. It's sometimes it's going to be 2. The other one is the interim champion, who either gets the undisputed one or no. I think if Dana White leaves, if Dana White goes and throws everything away and he's like, I'm not going to be a president for the UFC anymore, in a couple years, MMA is going to turn into boxing. And for the casuals that come in a couple years later, it's going to be more confusing, which nobody wants that. We don't want to see Jan Bohovic fight Vadim Nemkov, who's going to fight the rising champion, all that stuff. Nobody wants that. I don't want it. Dana doesn't want it. UFC fans, they don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love a crossover fight, but the one and done. I don't want that fight to be for a specific belt. I don't want that. I don't want the winner of that fight to fight ONE FC's champion, to fight the Rising's champion, to win all the belts and becomes a unified champion. I don't want that. Like I want to fight. I want to see AJ McKee versus Max Holloway or Brian Ortega or Volkanovski, but I want to see that fight one and done. No titles on the line. Maybe a belt as a reminder, which after the fight doesn't mean anything. No title defense for that belt. No, I don't know, unified belts and any of that stuff. I don't want that. And Scott Coker, he wants to turn MMA into boxing. And I don't want to shit on anyone because I like every promoter out there. Most of them are good people, but this is a mistake. Turn MMA into boxing. I don't know, make Vadim Nemkov fight Bohovic. I don't know, for the unified belt between UFC and all that. I mean, Ryzen and Bellator, I think they did it once, right?
Pardon?
I think Bellator and Ryzen, they did a crossover fight. I believe they did. But that's not good.
Yeah.
I want to see that, but I don't want to see it. I want to see it, but I don't want to see it. It's complicated. You guys can go figure it out. We're going to stop the podcast right now. I'm a little bit sick. You all don't know. All he knows what's up.
Yep.
That's why I'm drinking all this water, man. Yeah, so guys, we're going to leave you guys here. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about us, comment what do you think about the upcoming cards, give us your predictions. And Ollie, anything else you want to say before you leave?
Nah.
So
Subscribe.
thank you guys. Yeah, listen to the man, subscribe, do all of that. But before we leave, I think we're not gonna have any guests for the next couple episodes. We might have couple guys. We're not gonna say who they are. It's always a surprise. It's the thing with our podcast. We don't say who's next. We're like Dana White. We see how things figure out, right? We see how things play out. Isn't that right, Ollie?
Yep.
We see how things play out. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been amazing. Ollie, you know what to do. Stop the damn recording, my man. See you guys.